I love you so much you must kill me now. I love you so much you must kill me now.
Hey now, what's up everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka ReviewKingMB, and since I'm already in the middle of reviewing the Underworld series, I might as well also review the prequel. Underworld Rise of the Lycans is a 2009 film that is, like I said, the prequel to the series. So I guess when developing a third film, they didn't know where to go next with the story, so they decided, well, let's just retell the story of Lucian, who's played by Michael Sheen. He was one of the lead characters of the first film. He was a Lycan who wanted revenge for what happened to his precious Sonya. This movie tells that story, where you see him and other Lycans as slaves to the vampires, and he fell in love with Victor's daughter, Sonya. And once everybody found out, it did not go well, and it thus jump-started the impending war between the two breeds. Now, what I think of Underworld Rise of the Lycans is, I like this movie. I do. I mean, look, you could argue, you could say that this is a story we already knew, or we got enough of it in the first movie. I don't know if getting enough of it is a true statement, but we did already know it. So you could say, watching it, you already know what's going to happen, you already know the fates of Sonya, for example, so it's hard to feel for the characters. But I don't know, seeing Lucian at a point in his life where he was kind of Victor's favorite out of the bunch, interesting. The moment where he's first born, he's the first Lycan to be born that could change into human form. And Victor, for some reason, doesn't kill him. I don't know if he had a moment of compassion, which I doubt, but maybe it was because this has never happened before, so he was more curious, and he was Victor's favorite. He was able to sort of live in the castle, the corridors, while all the other Lycans were slaves, being whipped, and not just whipped by like a regular whip. No, they have to make it worse and have like these knives or sharp objects at the end of them, so when you get whipped, you get slashed, just to make it even worse. Now, Michael Sheen, he acts his ass off in this movie. If this was in somebody else's hands, if somebody else was playing the lead, it would just be an okay, at best type of film, but he brings it at such a level to where you feel like you're watching Macbeth or Romeo and Juliet, or something that warrants this level of emotion. He's totally into it, especially his love for Sonya. You buy it. This is why, even though we know it's going to happen, some prequels you have that issue where it's like, okay, I already know how this turns out, and it's not good. You still buy, or you still want to see this relationship and see how much in love they were with each other. Sonya is played by Rana Mitra, who was an actress I've seen before. She was good. She was great. I liked her for many reasons. It's interesting when you watch the first movie and then go to this one, because the flashbacks of Sonya, she has like blonde hair. She looks very different. But who cares? I don't mind that. I actually like the way she looks more here. Not just because I like the actress, but because they even reference in the first movie that Celine, Kate Beckinsale's character from the Underworld movies, she reminded Victor of his daughter so much. And with this actress, you see that. She looks a lot like her. Even her attitude and how much of a badass she was. She is a warrior, but she does have a rebellious side to her. She doesn't really listen to her father. She's a part of the committee, but she's never hardly there. And of course, she's sleeping with a Lycan. Now, her father, like I said, is Victor, played by Bill Nighy. He's another guy who, when he comes in, he sort of brings this material up a little bit. Great actor. I even like some of the, I don't want to say over-the-top moments that he has, but like the moment when he finds out that his daughter is doing what she's doing. I love his reaction. He's so disgusted. He can't believe that she would do something like this. Now, let me talk about some important moments in this movie, like, for example, Lucian's right hand werewolf, Lycan, from the first movie. The big black dude that I'm sure if you've seen these movies, you know what I'm talking about. Kevin Gruvix? Something like that. Well, we see how Lucien met him in this movie, how he was human at first, and then Victor forced these guys to be turned into Lycans. It was against his will. I thought that was interesting to see some of that. I mean, you don't get a whole lot about his character or like where he was and like how he was caught. You just kind of see it. That's really it. But that's all you really need to see. It was just cool that they included this character back in. He was one of the co-creators of this franchise, so they brought him back for that. Also, this is a little bit of a spoiler, but again, it's a prequel. We already knew this going in, that this was going to happen, but Sonya's death scene is hard to watch. Again, we knew it was coming, but it was the emotion behind it, how much these two characters were in love. Hell, even Victor, who for the most part comes off very cold and heartless, even he was broken up over having to vote yes on having her killed. And you know, Lucien watching her burn up, it was bad. It was really bad. But that, of course, leads to the big battle at the end where all of the Lycans storm the castle. You could also say that this movie is only in one location, which is kind of funny, this castle. Like, the vampires have themselves segregated away from the rest of the world because I guess Lycans are out there wanting to kill them. Very interesting. I almost wish they dealt a little bit more with that. But oh well. The battle at the end was great. This has some good action. It's very short. It's an hour and a half long. You could say that anything that you want more of, maybe they could have put an extra half hour in. But also, watching it and having it go by as quick as it does, I can't complain. It's a fun movie. The performances really make it. Sure, there's some CGI in there that looks a little wonky. They're starting to use more CGI, more and more of it, but there are also some practical moments, some moments where it is people in suits as Lycans, and that looks fucking badass. So, what more can I say? It's a fun movie. I enjoy it for what it is. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think of Underworld: Rise of the Lycans? Do you like it, or do you think it was unnecessary? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!